Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so right now it feels like literally everyone is talking about artificial intelligence. I mean, it's easily the biggest hype of our modern era, and it's evolving way faster than we can honestly even comprehend. But to really understand where this technology is going and how it's going to impact our lives, we need to dive into its totally fascinating decades-long journey. And we're going to start right with a question about its very origins. So, I want you to think about this for just a second. When do you think AI actually started? Was it with the smartphone? Maybe the dawn of the internet? We are all so used to the breakneck pace of modern tech that the surprising truth of its historical roots can catch us completely off guard. Okay, before we jump into the time machine, let's just get our definitions straight. When we talk about AI today, we mean machines, robots, and software systems that perform complex tasks entirely independently, without needing step-by-step instructions for every single thing. We all kind of know the basics, but keeping that core idea of independent task solving in your head is super important as we trace this whole thing back to the very beginning.
Summer 1956. The beginning.
Yep, 1956. This is the real inciting incident of our technological story. The exact moment when the foundational ideas for the tools we use today were actually born. In the summer of 1956, leading U.S. computer scientists, mathematicians, and linguists all got together to conduct a highly specialized research project. And get this fun fact, they actually thought they could make massive progress on building a truly intelligent machine in just a 2-month summer camp. Seriously, they came together to start a revolution, and they thought they'd knock it out over the summer. Their vision back then was just massively ambitious. They set out to develop entirely self-learning systems. They wanted to solve complex tasks that specifically required human intelligence. And perhaps most significantly for the history books, these scientists officially coined a brand new term for this capability: artificial intelligence. That right there was the spark that ignited everything.
Early euphoria to AI winter. The reality check.
So that grand vision quickly ushered in this fascinating new era of early breakthroughs in the 1960s. These pioneers were thinking big, dreaming up general problem solvers. They created the first AI program capable of proving mathematical theorems. Then there was the world's first autonomous robot. It literally shook and trembled as it carried out simple tasks in the lab, which appropriately earned it the brilliant name Shaky. Oh, and we absolutely cannot forget ELIZA. Developed by German-American computer pioneer Joseph Weizenbaum, ELIZA was a chatbot that simulated a psychotherapist during a patient consultation. It was so effective that some people thought it was deceptively realistic. But, well, progress hit a massive wall. The 1960s dream of super machines crashed really hard into the reality of the 1970s. Researchers quickly realized that the real world was simply far more complicated than the highly specific, isolated problems they were solving in the lab. The initial euphoria totally cooled off. Research funding was withdrawn, and scientists actually began questioning if these systems could ever be truly intelligent. This massive crash triggered what is notoriously known in the industry as the AI winter.
Expert systems and chess masters. The resurgence.
But hey, the winter didn't last forever. By the early 1980s, AI started crawling its way out of the ice. The whole focus shifted away from those grand, sweeping illusions and moved toward highly practical, application-oriented systems. We saw the very first expert systems start to combine the knowledge of individual disciplines, doing things like assessing vehicle damage or diagnosing medical conditions. Fast forward a bit to 1995, and we see a huge pioneering achievement. Ernst Dickmann's autonomous vehicle actually cruised along the motorway, largely on its own, all the way from Munich to Copenhagen. And then, of course, came the milestone that made global headlines in 1997. A robot beat the reigning grandmaster, Garry Kasparov, at chess. For the absolute first time, an expert system proved its superiority over a human master.
The 2010s AI data boom. Unlocking the potential.
That steady climb completely set the stage for an absolute explosion. Starting around 2010, industrial and service robots were training on more and more data, becoming these highly adaptable, self-learning systems. So what actually caused this worldwide boom? It essentially came down to 3 massive things all converging at once. First, we saw exponential growth in computing power and storage capacity. Second, suddenly there were huge volumes of unstructured data pouring in from the internet, social media, and industrial sensors. And third, we had much improved methodology. Things like LSTM technology developed by German scientists, which became an absolutely crucial component for modern speech recognition. Those 3 ingredients finally allowed us to catch up to that grand vision from 1956. And because of that massive data boom, world-renowned applications started hitting the scene in quick succession.
We saw Watson win the U.S. quiz show Jeopardy against the show's long-standing champion. Today, we've got virtual assistants casually answering questions, scheduling our appointments, and handling home duties just from spoken commands. We watched AlphaGo beat a top human player in Go, which is a board game that is infinitely more complicated than chess. And we saw startups like DeepL reach entirely new levels of finesse and machine translation. We are literally, enthusiastically, living in the reality that those pioneers dreamed of way back when.
Shaping AI for society, the future and us.
So this incredible decades-long history brings us right to today, and honestly, right to you. Self-learning systems promise to boost productivity and bring us amazing applications. But it's not all just a high-tech victory lap, right? We have to strike a really careful balance here. On the opportunity side, AI promises far more precise medical diagnoses and way better treatments for patients. It's helping us overcome massive language barriers, and it can even optimize city traffic, which means less congestion, fewer accidents, and a protected environment. But we can't ignore the risks. Some AI systems are already producing results that humans simply cannot decipher. For a lot of everyday tasks, they just aren't completely reliable yet. Plus, there is a very real fear of robots replacing coworkers, along with serious warnings that AI could race entirely out of our control.
It all really boils down to this one crucial idea. Not everything that is technically possible should be allowed to be put into practice. The commercial potential we are looking at is just huge. But we absolutely must recognize that boundaries are necessary. Just because we have the technical ability, an ability we've been building up for decades since 1956, doesn't mean we should deploy it blindly.
Which leaves us with a pretty massive question to ponder. How do we actually shape the AI of tomorrow for society's common good? The task isn't just about advancing the technology anymore. It's about steering it safely. So as you go about your day interacting with all these algorithms and digital assistants, I want you to ask yourself what role we all play in this continuing historical journey. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking those big questions, and I'll see you next time.